Let's get them, Glow. Chat on. Somebody already said they couldn't hear. That was you. Oh, somebody already said it. I'm back like I never left. I'm just getting everything going, but we finna go clean in on child support. I'm going in on child support all week. Check my lives and my material from last week. We was going in on traffic tickets being unconstitutional. This week we talking about how child support is unconstitutional. I ain't got no lies. I seen my chat. Y'all trying to argue with me about the warrants. We're gonna talk about that later. Everybody want to play smart. Tell them show their receipts. I got receipts that child support is unconstitutional. This is what I told the judge. I got receipts. Let's talk about it. I ain't just talking. I've been on child support 3 times. I got off of it twice. I'm finna get off a 3rd time. But this time I'm finna get paid. Finna get all my money back. Let's talk about it. Child support is unconstitutional. Let's talk about that. Oh, you know what I should have did too? Split screen so I can see both at the same time. Still on screen. I'm getting everything set up. I'm going to clear it in. It is malfunction because we know it down a bit. Okay, I don't want that on the screen. All right, let's get it. It's time to go in, Grand Sheik. We've been waiting long enough. Can I go in? Can I get an amen around here? Can I get an Islam around here? Child support is unconstitutional. Who want to argue today? I'm here every day ready to argue. And I got facts. And I'm coming with my notebook. Child support is unconstitutional. Let's break it down. Turner versus Rogers. Let's talk about it. Turner versus Rogers said that the child support is unconstitutional. You should not go to jail for child support. Do you know anybody that's been in prison for child support? Anybody got a warrant for child support? Any of these things? You know somebody got a warrant for child support, it's unconstitutional. You know somebody been locked up for child support, it's unconstitutional. Anybody in jail right now for child support is unconstitutional. Let's talk about it. Turner versus Rogers says it's unconstitutional. That was made in 2011. I ain't going back to no 1800 cases. I ain't going back to no 1700 cases. I'm using millennium cases. 2011. Islam, excuse me for my pronunciation. Okay, Turner versus Rogers. Let's read this together. Let's read it together. It says, the record indicates, this is what the judge said, this was the ruling now. Now, let me give you a background in this story. Now, Turner versus Rogers is a case where a brother was in prison because he could not afford to pay child support. The brother was struggling on drugs. They locked this brother up for 12 months because he could not pay child support. And the Supreme Court ruled, U.S. Supreme Court ruled, that is unconstitutional. They said South Carolina judgment, the South Carolina Supreme Court, their ruling was unconstitutional. All right, I'm finna talk about it. It says the record, this was the ruling. He said the record indicates that Turner received neither counsel nor the benefit of alternative procedures like those we have described. He did not receive clear notice. Okay, remember yesterday we talked about that clear notice. He did not receive clear notice that his ability to pay would constitute the critical question in his civil contempt proceeding. Okay, let's read that again. He did not receive clear notice that his ability to pay would constitute the critical question in his civil contempt proceeding. All right, and that question was whether he was going to go to jail or not. All right, they didn't give him clear notice that he was going to be going to jail. Number one, because when you sign that voluntary paternity acknowledgement, they don't give you notice. We broke that down yesterday in 42 USC 666. Let's continue reading. Let's read this together now. It says, no one provided him with a form or the equivalent designed to elicit information about his financial circumstances. The court did not find that Turner was able to pay his arrearage, but instead left the relevant finding in parentheses section of the contempt order blank. The court nonetheless found Turner in contempt and ordered him incarcerated. Under these circumstances, Turner's incarceration violated the Due Process Clause. We vacate the judgment of South Carolina Supreme Court and remand the case for further proceedings not inconsistent with this opinion. It is so ordered. All right. So that's Turner versus Rogers, followed by citation. They ruled that being in prison for child support is unconstitutional. Why? Because it deprives you of your due process clause. Due process clause says that you must have the right to counsel or some type of alternative if you're going to be facing incarceration. They didn't give the brother fair, clear notice that he was going to be facing clear incarceration because of his inability to pay. And they also ruled in this case, you cannot be in prison for debt. You cannot be in prison because of your inability to pay. All right. They also read that in, they put that in his opinion on this case as well. Okay. So that goes back to what we was talking about yesterday with the child support enforcement manual. All right. Where it says number 4, requiring individuals who have demonstrated a pattern of delinquent payments to post a bond or give some other guarantee to secure payment of overdue support. So that's the same thing. Like they have made this in the child support enforcement. See, y'all got to understand this. Child support enforcement is a separate agency outside of the family and health services. Those are two separate entities. You see what I'm saying? Like, so when you're dealing with child support enforcement, you're not dealing with just family and health services. You're dealing with people who consider themselves the law enforcement for child support. So if you're a law enforcement for child support, you must be delegated with that power from the Constitution, not from Title 4D of the Social Security Act. Title 4D of the Social Security Act does not give somebody authority to enforce anything on you. You know what I'm saying? Because Title 4D of the Social Security Act, first of all, that's a commercial clause. That's not even a law. That's not constitutional, and it's notwithstanding. It's in contrary to the Constitution, because nobody should be held liable to civil punishment or civil fees or anything civil or commercial without a contract. So let's start there. If it's no contract, the Social Security Act is null and void in the first place, because for them to enforce anything commercial, first of all, it has to be some form of contract in place. And so what they're using against you is the voluntary acknowledgement agreement. So let's go into that. We got that on a 45 CFR 303.5. All right. Establishment of paternity. This is how they got you. I need something to drink. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Get some of this good spring water here. It's getting hot in this one. All right. So this is how they get you. When they establish paternity, they put you on a contract. So that's why they go so hard to get you to do a DNA test or sign them paperwork in the hospital. Or they make you, if you never sign paternity or anything, they make you do some type of paternity test in the court. You feel me? And that's under 45 CFR 303.5, establishment of paternity. All right, so let's read that. 303.5, establishment of paternity. Okay, it says, for all cases referred to the Title 4D agency or applying the services under 302.33 of this chapter in which paternity has not been established, the 4D agency must, as appropriate, number one, provide an alleged father the opportunity to voluntarily acknowledge paternity in accordance with 302.70853. Okay. Then it says, number two, and attempt to establish paternity by legal process under state law. Then it says B, the 4D agency need not attempt to establish paternity in any case involving incest or forcible rape, or any case in which legal proceedings for adoption are pending, if in the opinion of the 4D agency, it would not be in the best interest of the child to establish paternity. All right, so let's break that down. First of all, why are they so thirsty to establish paternity? Because that puts you on a contract. We read that on the Title 42 USC 666. All right. We read about this. Let's go into that. Because see, they say they want to establish this paternity on you. Let's talk about it. Okay. This goes to child support enforcement, Title 42 666. Title 42 under voluntarily paternity acknowledgement, Section 6 said it was a simple civil process. So remember, that was a commercial process. When you go in and establish paternity, it's a commercial process. So let's go back to 45 CFR 303, the establishment of paternity. This is why they have to establish the paternity, because they put you on a commercial process. So it's not, when we talk about paternity, that deals with the patriarch. So it's establishing a father. So when we look at that from that viewpoint, why are they so thirsty to establish paternity on the father? Because that's a commercial process. Once you get in back pay, they automatically put a lien against you. You got a lien against your state according to the Child Enforcement Manual. Okay. Okay, we got some comments coming in now. Jake says, what's up, Jake? How do we rescind our signature? That's a good question, Jake. You can rescind the voluntary paternity acknowledgement within 30 days. That's a great question, Jake. How do we rescind the voluntary acknowledgement? I'm going to pull up the form for you, Jake. Okay. I'm going to pull it up for you, Jake. How do we rescind this? Okay. It go to form right here. If you on the Facebook or my Instagram or my YouTube, I pull up the form. So what you want to do, Jake? You want to just type in your Google. I don't know what state you in, Jake, but you want to type in your Google bar rescission of voluntary acknowledgement of paternity. All right. It's going to pull up forms. It's free forms. And you can only do this, I believe, within the first 30 days. You can rescind the paternity agreement within the first 30 days. But if past 30 days, you're going to have to go through the whole method of going through the courts or going through the administrative process with the ministers. Okay, and we're going to talk about that in Sunday school. Matter of fact, we're going to talk about it tomorrow too a little bit. I'm going to give y'all some of that, how we do that tomorrow, okay? I wasn't prepared with all my documents to show you how to rescind that, but that's a good topic for tomorrow. Thank you. Check back with me tomorrow. I'm gonna show you exactly how to rescind that past the 30 days. What that process look like. We have that process in the Conscious College. That also will be released in the Conscious College this week. We are dropping the child support course this week. All right, and that's gonna show you what to do after the 30 days. Okay, you don't have to go through court, but it's kind of complicated for me to kind of explain that in one short answer. Like, what did I do? You're gonna have to vacate the order. Put it like that. You're gonna have to vacate the order once it's past 30 days. If that answered your question, Victoria, young queen. If it's past 30 days, you're gonna have to vacate the order. Jake said, can we rescind after an order has been made? No. After 30 days, you're gonna have to vacate the order. So you want to put in a motion to vacate the order. That's what you want to do. If you have an order for you, you want to vacate the order. Jake said, I have paperwork, but I need to correct my status before I proceed. Yes, you do, Jake. Yes, you do, Jake. Come in to consciouscollege.org. It's only $249. We give you entire state, not a state, but status correction course. What that does is create a separate entity that you can start operating under, where they can't start garnishing your paychecks. They can't garnish your estate because you operate in commerce with a new identity is not attached to your old identity. That's a true status correction. And I'll show you exactly how to do that, how to move in the private versus moving in the public. All right. The public, they can track you down. The public is attached to your social security number. Only way they can get to you is through that social security number. All right. That's the only way. That's why they want to make all this money digital, because child support making them poor so much money, it benefits them so good. You feel me? Authorized representative said, I love what you are doing, champ. Appreciate you, authorized representative. That's what we show you how to become. The status correction, how to move as the authorized representative, because these bills, this child support is coming in the strong man name, and we're going to talk about that. You can discharge those things. Okay? Jake said, I'm about to start my AOR to become a state national. I don't know what an AOR exactly what that is, but I'm going to say this. The only way y'all can become state nationals if you actually have a citizenship with a nation. All right. A state national, somebody has allegiance to an actual state. The 50 states of the District of Columbia are not states, they're colonies, they're corporations. All right, so just want y'all to know that, put that out there. You have to proclaim your nationality. Your nationality is allegiance to your nation that your bloodline is from. Even if you're melanated or European, everybody has a nationality. I'll be hearing people say, like, man, if I'm European, how can I proclaim my nationality? Well, you have a nationality as well. Everyone has a nationality. All right, our ancestors made sure everybody was covered. All right, let's talk about the child support. Let's go back in. Somebody on Facebook said, this week, Cole, drop a sheet. Yeah, I'm trying to drop it. Somebody also said, let me work my funds for my college. You can join the Conscious College right now. If you send me your email to my inbox right now, you can join the Conscious College right now for 2 weeks free. All right. All right. And if you already in there, we covering this in Sunday school. All right. This is going to be covered in Sunday school. going through week by week on court procedures. We're going by week on how to handle and enforce your rights. Okay, Steve Beardsley say, how can you discharge child support and not be able to file bankruptcy on child support? Okay, so that goes into endorsing the bill. Okay, when they send you that bill, Steve, you can actually endorse it. And we're gonna talk about that. I did that. You can discharge child support with a promissory note. Let's talk about it now. You can discharge child support with a promissory note, or you can endorse the bill. I have endorsed my child support bill. That's why I've been on it 3 times. I done did it 3 different ways. 3 different ways I'm finna do it. And I'm finna get all the money back. And you can get all your money back. All right? But to answer your question, Steve, you can either endorse the bill or you can actually send a promissory note. Both of those are securities. Both of those are cash. Either one, you just have to know the administrative process to enforce it. If they don't accept that payment, then you must take child support to court for breach of contract. Because remember, the voluntary acknowledgement of paternity is a contract. Now, you can hold them under that same contract as well. All right, and anytime they don't perform under the contract, they have breached the contract as well. So it goes both ways. It's about who's going to take who to court first for breach of contract. That's what it's all about. It boils down to when they taking you and hold you in civil contempt for court, that's all because you breached the contract. You haven't performed. And you know acquiescence is silent agreement. All right? Let's talk about it. Y'all got good questions about child support today, boy. Hey, I see I need to talk about this for 2 weeks, huh? I was going to do a whole week on child support, but I think I need to come back for a replay on that one, huh? Y'all got a lot of questions. Jake say, I mean, keep them coming now. Keep the questions coming. I love it. Jake say, affidavit of truth and accessory oath, repudiation and revocation of citizenship. Okay, Jake, I know what you're talking about. And excuse my pronunciation. That's not a status correction, Jake. And I'm just keeping it real. And I'm not trying to knock nobody procedures out here. But like I say, a status correction is you actually changing governments. You're changing your allegiance to another nation and saying, now I'm foreign to this nation. I'm not subject to this nation's laws and codes any longer because now I'm subject to another nation's codes and laws. All right. You can't revoke citizenship that you never had as well. If you look in the Department of Immigration, if you go into the I-9 form and you do a FOIA request and ask them, are you a U.S. citizen? They have no records of you being a U.S. citizen because you as a natural person are not a U.S. citizen. Nobody has already been declared in the Dred Scott case. In other cases, no one can be a corporation. So the problem is with people with status correction, y'all doing too much trying to prove who you are. You're trying to prove that you're not a dead person and all these things when nobody ever said you was dead. They actually never said you was dead. All right? But we're going to talk about that. You say they go after the straw man. No, exactly. But what is the straw man? The straw man is a corporation. So you have to become the authorized representative of that corporation. You don't revoke anything. You need our estate plan and our status correction program because we teach you exactly how to operate. I mean, I got a trust bank account. I got a separate identity. I got foreign passports. I got all these things to move as a separate identity. Child support cannot identify where I work at because I don't work under my social security number. They can't garnish any of my bank accounts because they have been put on a 9A EIN number under a trust. And I can show you exactly how to do that for 149. I'll show you how to do all that, put all that in your trust and start your trust, your whole estate plan, not just the trust, but the whole estate plan with the course for $149. That's it. I'm not charging $500, $1,000 to do no trust. I'm gonna tell you, want be funky a trust. You can do a trust for free. Now let's keep it. Now let's talk about it. You can do a trust for free at legaltemplates.net. I give you the place to do it at for free. But what I give you is a course on how to transfer your bank accounts to protect your assets, how to transfer your car into the trust. All right, how to take over your accounts, the power of attorney agreement. You need that. That's a part of your estate plan. The power of attorney is what you need to be the authorized representative. And I'll show you how to do that with the IRS as well. Let's talk about it now. Jake said, not bad at all. Hey, one thing I want to tell everybody, I'm for the people. All right. I'm not one of these people who's going teaching on the internet is going to try to charge you thousands of dollars. Now we're going to keep everything under about $300. We're going to keep it real reasonable. And we're going to give you more than what you paid for. And we're not selling you no paperwork. I'm selling you courses that I'm teaching you how to use the paperwork that you already got. A lot of y'all got this paperwork already, just don't know how to use it. You just don't know how to use it. I'm going to show you how to really use these things for real. There's no cap with me. All right, but back to that question on rescinding the voluntary acknowledgement of paternity. This is the form for Illinois. Illinois has the form. I pulled it up. It says this is a legal document. This form counsels the legal father and child relationship created by the previously signed voluntary acknowledgement of paternity and/or counsels the adjudication of the non-parentage of presumed parent, thereby making the presumed parent responsible for all rights and duties of a parent. Okay, so, okay, let me finish reading. Say this form must be signed witness with the department within 60 days of the effective date of the voluntary acknowledgement of paternity and/or the denial of parentage or the date of a proceeding relating to the child, whichever occurs earlier. So you actually got 60 days. So if you 60 days within, because I know I said 30 days, but I was just guessing, but it's actually 60 days. So you can revoke this in 60 days. Okay. Jake said affidavit of claim of non-corporate. That's not a status correct. You don't have to put an affidavit in a claim of non-corporate status because an affidavit can only be made by a living person. Let's start there. Why would I have to put an affidavit that I'm non-corporate if an affidavit can only be made by a living person? What corporation can notarize affidavit? Let's start there. Let's start there. See, I did all those status corrections. I've been in this. Listen, somebody asked me earlier in my inbox how I did a Social Security status correction. Listen, when it comes to Grand Sheet, I done did 5 status corrections. I've been doing status corrections since 2016. I proclaimed nationality in 2016. Since that time, I did 5 separate status corrections. 4 of them was null and void, meaning it's non-effective. I done did all these things I'm telling you not to do. I'm trying to keep y'all from wasting y'all time, sitting around waiting on a birth certificate authentication to come back for 6 months, and then you talking about I got a status correction. When that does not correct your status. When your bills are still coming in. When these court cases are still going to come in. I'm going to show you something that stop all that. All right? And it's not going to stop it forever, but you're going to know how to deal with it. A lot of y'all getting this paperwork. The paperwork does not do it. You have to have the knowledge on how to handle these type of situations, Islam. Okay. Let's go to Facebook. Somebody on Facebook said, yes, replay we need. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go on this child support. And I see this is a hot topic. Like, you know, I overcome a lot of things. And I forget that people actually going through these things. Somebody commented on my other live the other day. It was like, man, we was teaching this back in the day and still going through it. Like, yeah, it's still people that haven't even heard they have an option. It's still people that don't even know how to handle these situations. So I encourage everybody who's teaching on these subjects, keep on teaching about child support is fraud. Anybody saying child support is fraud, it's not fraud, bring them to Grand Sheet. I straighten them out. Because I got case laws. We didn't even get into imprisonment for death, but we're gonna go in there tomorrow because I got so much to share, man. Like, I'm gonna keep going in, so don't worry about it. I'm coming back all week with this one, because child support is unconstitutional. Check in with consciouscollege.org. You feel me? Somebody on Facebook said I need a trust. Yes. Everybody in America needs a trust. All right. We're gonna show you a course. You can get a trust done for free, but do you know how to use your trust? That's what I teach you. Okay. So you think, Carlos, I'm gonna take this last question from Carlos Alexis. Says, so you think status correction in general is our best option to live a meaningful and productive? Living meaningful and productive has nothing to do with the status correction. That's something you have to find within. That's what religion will help you with. Your best option to live meaningful and productive is tap into your spirituality side, get into some type of form of a holy book, start meditating. That's your best option to live a meaningful and productive life. Okay? Status correction is the best way you're going to protect your birthrights. All right? Estate plan is the best way you're going to protect your assets. Okay? So it's not, there's no one thing fits all in this world. Okay? One thing don't fit everything. Okay? We got so many areas that we have to correct. I'm just talking about child support and paperwork. What about your eating habits? Okay? That ain't got nothing to do with paperwork. You have to correct that to live a meaningful and productive life as well. See what I'm saying? So come to the Conscious College. This is all the things that we deal with at the Conscious College. It's different areas. I'm just coming out and just showing you a few of these areas right now. I specialize in paperwork, but do I only depend on paperwork? No, I do not. I live a meaningful and productive life by finding my purpose in life. First of all, what is your purpose? See, the More Shines Temple of America showed me that I had a purpose. My purpose is to uplift fallen humanity. A lot of people got goals, but what purpose do you have behind your goals? If you got $1 million today, what would be the purpose of having that? What would you use that $1 million for? If y'all donate y'all money to me, I have a purpose behind the money I'm using. I'm reinvesting this to uplift fallen humanity. I'm not the savior of the people, but what I'm going to do is leave my work behind, and somebody's going to be uplifted by my work, and that's all I can do. And I'm working on myself because I'm trying to save myself, and I'm just showing y'all how I save myself and how I'm continuing to save myself, because I'm not already saved myself. I'm still subject and liable to be kidnapped just like y'all is. But I'm showing y'all my study, my notes, and what I've done. That's it. All right. And I appreciate y'all. Carlos, Alexis, I appreciate that, fam. And invest in our children's future. Yes. That's fallen humanity is our children. They are fallen. They in a fallen state of mind. We have to, it's our generation that's going to lay down the foundation. We need our own cities. All right. Now let's talk about it. Let's talk about what's Grand Sheet purpose. My purpose is to establish a conscious community where we can live in together. A Moorish city under our own jurisdiction. When we control our own electricity, our own water, our own schools, our own court system, our own banks. Okay? I'm talking about sovereignty at its highest level. I'm talking about nation building. But first, we got to understand our birthrights and protect ourselves. All right? So, consciouscollege.org. Come on this journey with us, man. Let's build. Okay? Islam. I'm going to end it on that note. Peace and love.